I'm back for day 10 of the 100 horror films in 31 days. Today I got 4 films in. I finally finished the Blind Dead trilogy. I watched 1974's The Ghost Galleon, again directed by Armando Osario. Same general plot as the first 2 films. Essentially, what you got here is a change of locale. Now we have got a ghost ship that the monks have captured, and you just happen to have a group of people that are doing some kind of a marketing stunt out in the open water that end up butting into the ghost galleon ship, and of course, bad results come from that. And again, the gore starts to ramp up a lot with this film. I think this one works for me. These films are getting better each as they go along, which is highly unusual. I like the fact that the intensity, the atmosphere, and the mood, and the creepiness of the film. I think is better with these kind of monster zombie monks in an enclosed environment. And what could be more enclosed than you're stuck on a ship in the ocean with these things? So I think it worked. I think that works very, very well. They're slow moving, but you know what? You're not going to go far on a ship. They're eventually going to surround you, and I think that works really, really well. So I enjoyed Ghost Galleon quite a bit. I enjoyed it slightly more than the other two. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. And then finally, probably my favorite of the whole series is Night of the Seagulls. Not Flock of Seagulls from the 1980s, but Night of the Seagulls. And this time, again, you've got the same general storyline, but you're changing the locale to this seaside village. And I think it works. It's very much. It's to me, it's the same basic story premise as the first film, but this time, the people that are being chased by the monks, determine kind of the source of the power of the monks towards the end of the film. So I think that was an interesting twist on it that worked really well. And the gore again is amped up. But I've heard people complain that these films get weaker as they go along. I didn't experience that. I actually felt like they got stronger as they went along. And Night of the Seagulls, I think, is one that people I've seen or read about that say it's the weakest of the films. For me, it was the most enjoyable of them. So yeah, I enjoyed all these. This needs a Blu-ray release with some special features. There are no special features with this release other than some trailers and poster art gallery. So I would love to get an upgrade on this. And then next up, third film was Kino Lorber's release of Yongri, 1967, Monster from the Sea, from the Deep. This is a Korean spin-off kaiju film trying to take advantage of the popularity of Godzilla. And it's an enjoyable film. And it's a short film, runs like 75 minutes. Really only runs 70 minutes if you consider how long it takes to kill off the monster. There's about 5 minutes of fluff at the end of the thing. So it's a very short watch. Uh, you've got some really strange storylines here where you've got an outer space, a voyage to outer space, and then an earthquake that releases Yongri. A lot of different subplots going on. But I thought it's a lot of fun. I mean, if you like Godzilla films, you like kaiju films, you like man in suit horror monster movies, you're going to like this. There's one scene for the kiddies. These films back in the late '60s and up into '72 with Godzilla, they started to kiddify him a little bit. You got a kid in this that's real annoying, and you got a short segment where Yongari is kind of break dancing with the kid. That's I mean, I checked out during that, but that was comic relief. I don't think we needed it, but we got it. But that followed quickly by some really impressive uh, aircraft. You got some jet fighters that are trying to shoot down Yongari, and some of the explosions are really really impressive. I think even better than some of the Godzilla movies. Really impressive, man. I was like the guy. I was like, if I'm a guy in the suit, man, I feel sorry for that guy because it looked like some of that stuff blowing up on him and around him was serious business. I enjoyed this. I enjoy kaiju films anyway, so for me this was a lot of fun, and it's a quick watch. There is an audio commentary with film historian Steve. I never heard of this guy, Steve Ruffy, and writer and critic Kim Sung Ho, and then you've got some trailers. So that should be an interesting follow-up watch in November. And then probably the weakest of the entries for today was the 1992's Highway to Hell, kind of a zomcom movie. Uh, I think if they, my general opinion of this is if they had just stuck with a serious storyline, this would have been a damn good movie. Basically, what you got is this cop from hell who crosses alternate realities in order to capture young women and take them back to hell. And there's this time portal that they cross in the desert. I like the cop. I like the special effects. But they throw so much comedy in this and it's not funny. I mean, it's just, for me, I think comedy is the hardest thing to do in movies because if you make a comedy and it's not funny, what else is there? I mean, with a horror movie, it can be accidentally comedic and cheesy, and you still have a good time with it. Even if it's not scary and it's just ridiculous, you can still have a good time with it. But comedy, man, if comedy is not funny, there's usually nothing to fall back on when you're watching a comedy that's just not funny. And this is not funny at all. And they try very, very hard. Ben Stiller is in this with his dad. You've got a bunch of cameos. Lita Ford has a cameo in this. Uh, but they just throw a bunch of cameos and little set pieces in here to try to be funny. I can't stand Ben Stiller. I just think he's just not funny. He really is not funny, and they put him in these scenarios where I guess they thought it was funny, but they didn't get me to laugh. I just checked out. So I does not like Highway to Hell. I give it a 5 out of 10. The special effects were good, and the hell sequences at the end were good. But again, it was just the whole thing got killed for me. Just went downhill trying to be funny. So I'll get off of that. The director was a European director I've never heard of. I don't know what else he's done, but his director was At de Jong. At de Jong, some kind of Netherlands director. Never heard of him. But yeah. So that was kind of a disappointing end to the day, but we'll move on, and I appreciate you watching. Thanks.